Hello, John. Today I'm coming here to ask you some questions about IULs as you are a wealth planner. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
All
I
right.
agree. That's what I'm here for.
All right. So let me begin. As a wealth planner, I would like to understand more about your ideas and opinions so that we can educate other people about IULs.
Great. I mean, I have a lot of ideas. Um, in my opinion, many opinions that I have. Looking at my past 27 years of being in the some form of the financial world. I started at .com back in the late 90s, evolved into the banking world for about 12 years, and then went into wealth planning for the past 7 years. That is where I'm at. Kind of giving you a little story of my background.
Okay. Thank you. That's very insightful. So for our first question today, I would like to ask you, what is an IUL?
Great question, Maximus. An IUL stands for Index Universal Life. It's a nice service that a wealth planner like myself can provide to most people. How do we provide it? Has multiple functions, but give you three basic functions that it has. One, it has living benefits. Very becoming very very important in this world that we live in with living benefits. Why? Because living benefits are happening in your present life, and you need those. Two, which is very very important, which I've noticed where most families kind of lacking, is the ability to bank, save without being charged these high interest rates. As you probably know, Maximus, when you buy a car, how much is your interest rate? Well, it all depends on how good your credit is. Your credit is 800 or 600 or 500 will depend the rate. Why? Why is that? Why is it so dramatic? Especially somebody whose credit could be high just because they don't use credit that much. And somebody's credit could be low because they run a business and they use a lot of credit. Why are they getting charged these higher interest rates? This is something which comes into banking and savings. And then three is looking for protection of your family, mortgage protection when you're gone, rent protection if you rent when you're gone, income, long term income when you need income. That is very important. So you put all these three together. This is how you can use a IUL service to help your life, and then bridge these with the other services. When you start looking at other opportunities, investments, stocks, gold, IRAs, 401s, all this bridges together. Remember, in this world, there's not one service or product that covers everything. You have to learn how to use all of them together. And this is all called the circle of wealth. That makes sense?
Yep, that's pretty clear. So let's go back a little bit. And in simple terms, what would you say an IUL is? For someone that's not educated at all, in simple terms, quick, easy words, what would you define an IUL?
An IUL is a service that you can use that's tied to life insurance that gives you that life insurance protection, but also gives you the ability to grow an asset that you can use for your benefit in the future.
Okay, thank you. And adding on to that, in simple terms, how are some ways people like me and other kids, adults, anyone could use an IUL?
Ah, that's a great question, Max. I mean, I like the question of thinking, and you being such a young person, you are the most that this is most valuable to you because as we get older, we get set on our ways. We know how much we're going to spend, and we get to a point that we're like, you know what, I just want to relax and take it easy. But somebody young like yourself has all these dreams, businesses, traveling the world. Why don't you do that? As you Because you can't. You don't have the assets to do that. So what you do is you start young. The younger, the better. Here's one nice thing. The best gift, or one of the best gift, in my opinion, that a parent can give to their daughter or son is an IUL. At the age of 1, they can start. These IULs keep growing and growing through their life. So by the time they hit adults like yourself, they have the ability of an asset that they can borrow against, they can take out, that can allow them to start a business, to travel the world. I mean, Maximus, do you like traveling the world?
I love traveling the world. I'd love to do it more, but everything's so expensive nowadays.
Correct. See that? Wouldn't it be nice that if you knew that if you had some form of income, job, as you or business that you can do in different parts of the world, but know that behind that you have a support of a good asset that's growing without you doing anything. Wouldn't that be nice to have that?
Yeah, it sounds great.
This is where an IUL comes in. And don't confuse this. IUL is not the only tool. There are many other tools, but this is why you would DM me and I would explain this within the circle of wealth.
Okay. So, but for my next question, then, who would you say benefits from having an IUL the most?
Oh, that's good. That's a good question. I mean, I can't say most because every individual is different. You know what I'm saying? Every individual is different. So I can't say who would benefit the most. But what I can say, in my opinion, is who would benefit the most is who would learn. Remember, this is a learning process, how to use this, how to use it the best for their lifestyle.
Okay. So, adding on to that, at what age would you say is the best time to start an IUL, or does it not matter?
That's another good question. In my opinion, once you're legal enough to for your parents to establish an IOL, which you wouldn't know that because you would be a baby, but that would be the best time. You know, if it's a month or 6 months after being born, that would be the best time. Why would that be the best time? Because you are healthy s when you're first born. Am I correct?
Yep.
As you get older, you get less healthy. Correct? Okay, so that is what I say. So, what you want to do then is, as a parent, this is why I'm reaching out to parents to give your gift to your children, your grandchildren, all this, your friends who have children and grandchildren. Let them, you first understand it, and then you give that gift to them so they can start young. So, by the time they're your age now, Maximus in your 20s, you have something that your parents can pass on to you and teach you how to use it. And then you do the same.
Okay, thank you. So then, how would you say an IUL could be used for income in simple terms that people like me and other people around here could understand?
Oh, that is great. Well, first of all, you would need an individual like myself. Like we would have to look at your age, your health, make sure all that's good, and then I would generate what they call an illustration, and then I would send you that illustration. That illustration would be based on a couple key things. Number one, are you putting in a lump sum of money in there to start it? Yes or no. Number two, how much are you going to put in monthly or yearly? And then based off of that, we would then generate an illustration. And then number three is the term. How long are you going to work on growing this? Normally, an IUL, you want to start it at a period and let it at least grow for 7 years. And then after 7 years, you can start using it. To better your life. Now you can start sooner if you put a lump sum in, but not everybody has the ability to do that. So here's where the benefit is. It's called compound interest. That IUL, most IULs, we call it index universal life, mirrors an index. An index can be, for example, something like the S&P, for example. Okay? Why that's key? Because S&P, you can go back into the over the past 10, 20 years and see what kind of growth it has had. And then the IUL can mirror that if it's structured with that. And then you have the option to decide this is why it's important to be young. You can adjust the life part of it compared to the accumulation part. That's how an IUL works. Okay? Make sense?
Yep. So, how long would you say an IUL lasts for? Does it last for as long as you're alive, or does it have a
It's a good
expiry?
question. That's a good question. IULs, very important that they're structured correctly for the individual. How do I mean by that? One individual, maybe because they have a large family, they're the only income earner, they're into their adulthood. They may say it's more important for me to have a good life part. They'll put more of my premiums that I put in every month to go more into life. Why? Because if something happens to me, my family will be okay. Somebody like yourself who's single, young, you may say, no, my life insurance part is not that important. So you lower the life insurance part, and then your accumulation part goes up. Okay. And that means now in the next 3 to 5 to 6 to 10 years, you're gonna literally with that term when it comes, become your own bank. You literally become your own bank, but you can borrow against yourself, your assets. So to ask your question, this is why I generate illustrations for you. Because my goal as a wealth planner to all the families is to say this IUL will not run out through your life. And if it does get to a point, is because you've turned on the income part, and that income part is taking out money from it monthly, and it comes to a yearly, knowing that, well, it's going to last you until, let's say you're 100, well, or maybe 105. You're fine. You know that at that point you're fine with that. That makes sense.
So what would you say someone like me, an average person, could start collecting this money from IUL?
Repeat that question again.
When could someone like me, an average person, start collecting this money?
Uh-huh.
Do we have to be a certain age, or can we start collecting whenever we want?
Yes. So the going back to what we talked about before, the best time to start is now, not in the future. The sooner you can start, the better. Why is it better? Why is it better to start now? For the reason that number one, you're the healthiest possible you're going to be. Number two, your cost for the life insurance portion of it is better because you're younger. So to answer your question, start now. Don't wait.
Okay. And for my last question today, as an educator, what is your opinion to the world regarding an IUL?
Oh, that is great. I mean, I love offering my opinions, and my opinion, to you, to family, to friends, to people who are coming to my channel or your channel to view this, following me, following you. Uh, my advice is talk to other family members, and find out the good and bad, because nothing in this world has all good, and most likely nothing in this world has all bad. You need to learn the good and the bad. Why is an IUL good? But here, why is an IUL not so good? Okay. Once you understand that, then you come to a person like myself and as a wealth planner, and we then give you illustrations. We show you numbers. You start then understanding, because this is a learning process. This is all tied to the circle of wealth, which within the circle of wealth, there the circle of wealth lives within the circle of life. Okay, I've experienced my life over the past 50 something years. I've experienced that. I've learned a lot. Now I want to teach that knowledge to you, to the family. You know what I'm saying? I want to teach that knowledge. I want you to learn. So, in my opinion, what I suggest is to DM me, call me, message me. Let me teach you about the circle of wealth. Circle of wealth is very simple. You start with income, you go through a bucket system. You move it to an asset class, which an IUL can be an asset class. And on this planet, there's approximately 8 asset classes, and I can go into detail about that. You move it into revenue generating opportunities, and you go back to income. IUL fits within that circle of wealth. Okay. So, with that said, my goal is to educate you, provide an opinion, to teach you how to use an IUL and bridge it with other tools that are out there. There's many tools. There's stocks, there's bonds, there's annuities, there is gold, there's Bitcoin, there is real estate, there's businesses. These are all asset classes. IUL is just a part. One big thing you brought up, and I was just thinking about this. IUL is a nice tool that can be used for business owners. How do you think IULs can be used for business owners?
I don't know.
Okay, well, here's how an IUL can be used for business owners. And this is reaching out to business owners. An IUL can be used for business owners to be able to grow an asset. And then let's say in the future you need to expand your business. You have somewhere where you can borrow from that. Let's say you want to purchase a business, you have somewhere where you can use capital to buy another business. I have some businesses that I work with that use an IUL for that purpose. Why? Because they can borrow money at a much favorable rate than if they went directly to a bank. Plus, they don't have to so much worry about their credit.
So, one final question before we wrap this up.
Okay.
Where can they find you? And where can they find you online? And how can you attend to them personally?
Personally, great. Well, what I say is you can send me an email directly, or you can text me directly, or you can call me directly. My direct phone line, where you can call me directly, is 813-297-3395. Now, let me repeat that: 813-297-3395. Now, where you can send me an email directly.
Okay. So how can you attend to people personally? Where can they go out to where can they go to find you to reach out to you?
Huh, it's a great question. I mean, Maximus, what I say is, go ahead, DM me directly, email me directly. I will personally reach out to you. Within this video here, there will be the information provided for you to DM me, for you to email me, and you will know that you're personally going to be dealing with me, John Valencia.
Okay, let's go.